Hi, I'm Kinga Glyk. I play bass since I'm 11 years old. I grew up in a family where music was really important, I would say, and I'm so happy to have interview for Talking Blues podcast.
You mentioned your family. Can I start with your dad?
Yes.
Can we start with, is it pronounced Eric?
Yes, it's Eric.
Can you tell me a little bit about Eric?
Yes. My dad is a vibraphone player. This is his main instrument, but for many years he also played drums because it was easier to have job there. Like more people wanting to have a drummer than a vibraphone player. So, but then it changed. But I was lucky also to have him as my drummer in my band. When I was starting. But the very, very beginning, when I was 11, my dad, he made a band with my brother and me, and we had a trio. My dad was playing vibraphone, I was a bass player, and my brother was playing drums. And this was the very, very beginning of what I do, actually, and I'm so happy I could start like this because it was very... I think safe environment to learn things, There was someone who wanted us to be the best we can be. So there is also a lot of honesty, but in a deep level, I know that he really cares and loves me as his daughter. So he gave me a lot of support, and I would say he was always my mentor. We had so many deep conversations about life and music also.
Did I read correctly that he actually had a scholarship to Berklee School of Music?
He did, but he couldn't go there because of the financial political situation in Poland. So he at the end he couldn't do it, which is really sad. And recently I was in New York for the first time playing in Blue Note. And my dad was like, it's crazy you're going there. Like, when you're there, like, just write my name in the toilet, like, write our name there. So we made it, you're there. So I love that he's so excited about all these things because it's something he really wanted to do.
There is a strong tradition in jazz in Poland. I presume that came after the war. I know that Stalin didn't allow jazz music to be played, but when he passed away, I think jazz became a big thing in Poland. Tell me about that Polish jazz scene.
This is the hard question. It's a hard question only because I think I didn't spend so much time also understanding maybe the culture of Poland and jazz. I think for me, I always listened to music and I was trying to find musicians and people who inspire me, and I didn't necessarily search for them in specific places. It was just, and I was not necessarily maybe strongly connected to Polish scene as well, because what I was listening with my dad most of the time was from the people from internet, being like trying to find people who made this kind of music alive, like the beginning is in a different place, kind of, so I feel like I could be fed by people around the world. So I still need to do my job and lessons about the Polish culture and jazz scene, because also I am not, I travel a lot, so I'm not so much connected to one place.
Fair enough. But obviously your dad was influenced by that greatly, I would imagine.
I think so. And also he studied in Poland jazz, so a lot of his friends also made him grow with him. They were performing there. So my beginning was also in the clubs in jazz scene, where people still were smoking in the clubs when I was 12, and like there was only like gray smog everywhere, and I was like playing bass, being like, I don't want to smoke yet.
When you picked up the bass at the age of 11, this was something that wasn't forced upon you. This was your choice.
Yes, exactly.
How did you come to that choice? Do you know? Do you know why you picked that instrument?
I think I love the sound of bass, and it seems there's a deeper connection about that. I don't necessarily know why it was like this, but I never had doubts that this should be instrument I should play. And I asked my dad to bring me bass home, and he's like, bass? It's like, yes. And I think I didn't even have my bass heroes, let's say, that I was like, oh, I want to be like someone. I just really enjoyed the sound of bass, and I wanted to do that.
Do you know, I mean, was there a song back then that you heard the bass and thought, I really like that sound?
Not necessary. It's for me just
Wow.
listening to music and understanding that there is a bass, and I was pretending to be bass player, not necessarily connecting it with somebody or something. Yeah.
At the age of 11, you pick up the bass. You're playing live by the age of 12.
Yeah.
How easy did that instrument come to you?
I think, I mean, it's obviously an intuition because I didn't have so much time to practice. It was 1 year for me to be like, oh, this works like this. But I think I liked the fact that for me it was more intuitive, and like I wanted to hear what I think should be there in music. So this was my beginning for many years, trying to really take care of the sound and how precise I can be about playing what I play.
Like, did you have that in mind very early?
Yes, I would say pretty early. I really wanted to sound precise, I would say. Practicing things, it was not for me to just play something and whatever. It was really just make it kind of perfect in terms of producing the sound, that it sounds beautiful, and that it's not only, I can play Don Lee theme and that's it. It was for me very important to take care of that.
I mean, obviously, jazz was a big thing in your life, but I don't know if it was the only thing that drove you. Like musically, what were you into at the age of 12?
Mainstream jazz was there because of my dad, and he showed me Charlie Parker and many people that play quite complicated things, which was not easy for me to listen to, I would say. So sometimes I actually forced myself on the way to the concert to listen to it, being like, how do I enjoy this? Like, this is complicated. But later, when I was older, I started to search what I actually enjoy to listen to, and then I like to go back and understand what is beautiful also about the jazz that maybe is not my main love, I would say.
So what else would have been a major influence on you?
It's more funk, I would say, for sure, like Earth, Wind and Fire, and I don't know, Stevie Wonder also, beautiful songs. Then Marcus Miller more in terms of slap and funk, but Jaco Pastorius also in terms of being someone who inspires me not only musically but also as a human on stage. You know, the presentation and that making music, it seems deeper than only playing songs.
Is that something you can easily learn?
To make music deeper?
Yeah, on stage and to personify music on stage.
I think, in my opinion, it's about who we are and what we care about. I think music can be different we have different needs. I think some people maybe don't need from music to touch them on a deeper level. Some people would just be fine with having fun with music, or some just, I don't know, need a lot of energy from it, or some to be peaceful in a way, just to calm down. And for me, I think I always search for something that could touch my heart. So even sometimes the way people play, even if you would remove the sound, and I see how drummers play the drums, or like how someone plays piano, I look at them physically, if they do it kind of sensitive, I would say, being
Right.
like, for me it has to be combination. There's a meaning behind what you do right now.
But I mean, like, if you're watching Jaco Pastorius on stage and you see something bigger than just him hitting notes, and you're moved by that, as a player, can you say, I want to do that and do that?
I hope so. But it's a great question. But I think I would want to give power to any human being to be able to bring something deeper into music when you care about it. I think then it's a deeper topic of like, stage also can block us. Like, it's not that I'm not capable of making it deeper, it's that there is something in front of me blocking me actually to step out of the zone of feeling fear or something, and then I feel that I cannot actually bring the music to the higher level. So this is a different topic, but I would say I believe everybody has the power to make it something deep. Yeah.
Going back to your trio with your dad, I believe it's called Glyk, Pik.
Yes.
Tell me about recording that album. Like, that was probably the first time you were in the studio.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience and what you learned from that experience way back when.
So we call it peak.
Pick? Okay.
Yes, it's Glyk Peak Trio. It was a challenge, I would say. I think my dad is also quite demanding human being, so so it's not that he was like, that's great, play whatever you want. It was very specific, what we should create together, and like that we should do it on the highest possible level as for the kids. But I'm so happy. Recently I was trying to prepare for a workshop, and I actually went back to the recordings when I'm 12, and it was interesting experience for me to see that my dad chose songs that made us sound okay. It's like, because we really like, yeah, we were just starting, but I think he knew how to push us to make it sound okay.
But I mean, I presume the fact that he was not hard on you, but he had certain expectations is probably why you are where you are right now as a player.
Yes, I cannot say not. It's for sure, but I think you do have to be older to understand that, and to understand parents' perspective on that. Yes.
So I actually interviewed somebody else who played with his dad, and I find that relationship pretty interesting. So there you are, father and daughter, in this case, father, daughter, and son. But at what point, or is there a point where you become not father and daughter, but just musicians?
I would say yes. I think in our case it was interesting because so we were switching roles also, because my dad was, so I first was playing in my dad's band, then I
Right.
started to have my own band where my dad started to play drums, and he was also managing what I do. And then we changed the drummer, so he was no longer the drummer, but he was still my manager. So I think we had different phases in life trying to respect each other, which is interesting to go through, because you have to be very honest and also understand that the first of all of that, this is my dad and I am his daughter. So everything that comes next, I would say in my head, is less important than this connection. And we went through many challenges that could actually break it, because it's not stereotypically family vibe, you know? So I think I've learned a lot how to communicate things that are not easy for me to say to my dad, only because I had to work with him.
Right.
And I think normally in family you have limited problems, let's say, that are, you maybe don't have to necessarily talk about certain things in a certain way, because it's not job, so you don't have any demands or like positions, let's say, no. But I answering your question, sorry, I think on stage we are musicians. I think you don't think about other person as a family member so much.
Well, it's interesting because you also had your brother at one point on stage with you.
Yes.
So the dynamics of all that must be complicated at times. Can I ask you, when you decided to go out on your own or start your solo project, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but when you decided to release your own album and your dad was playing the drums or managing for you, what did you hope to accomplish back then when you released that first album when you were, I believe, 18?
Yes. You know everything. So the question is what?
Because the music is very different from what you recorded with your family band.
Yes.
And I don't know at what point you figured out that that thing you wanted to follow and pursue musically. I don't know when, you realized that music was a little different from what you were playing with your family band. But what did you hope to accomplish with that first album?
Maybe it's about composing and trying to be creative and responsible more and start somewhere, I recently tried to encourage also people to not be afraid to start, because we very often feel very not ready to start. And I like that my dad didn't allow me to wait longer, being like, okay, so practice more because it's not there yet, and then you record it. He was like, no, just do it and make it, like, finish the product, like find the songs you like, compose how much you can, find maybe some covers and put the album together and start somewhere. Because if you don't do that, and if it's not done product from A to end, then it's not done. Like, I think the easiest way is to, and with composing for me it's the same, it's easy to start, but we don't finish the thing. You know very well about that because you do for 10 years your job with interviews. So sometimes it's great to have an idea, but to continue and actually not give up on the way is really a challenge. So I say big brava to everybody who continues,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think just doing it is important, because oftentimes people have ideas, but actually going ahead and actually doing it is
exactly.
a different thing. If we go back to that point, do you remember how you felt about that first album? Not how you feel about it now, but back then.
I was happy, I think, to do it. I think I was frustrated also because of my musical skills, because I think most of my life I feel I hear how things should be, but when you cannot produce it, it's annoying. But I had to also find a way to enjoy what I can do at that moment. But so then I have to kind of give up my ideal way of how it should be, because I wasn't able to produce it the way I would want to, because I just didn't have the skills I wish I had at that moment.
Is that a technique thing, or is that a sound thing?
Probably combination of both. Although I would say sound is easier for me to produce than technique and knowledge how to choose correct vocabulary for certain topics, So I just, when I listen to it, it's like someone is learning how to speak, and it's great.
But you feel like it's still really early and
Yeah,
that they're still learning.
100%.
But you got recognized quite a bit. I mean, did you not receive awards for like best bass player and new artist at that point?
Some, yeah, I did, but I don't connect it with my skills.
Right. But that's pretty impressive to do your first solo album and get that kind of recognition.
Yes, it is. I would say bravo Kinga for taking the steps, and bravo Irek for encouraging the daughter to start something, and the people that are part of the album also are very mature musicians. So it's not that I was playing and recording music with people on my level. So I think the album is quite on a good level because the musicians that are included are much, much, much older than me and much more experienced. So they help the baby to walk.
And then what did that recognition do for you?
I would say it's encouraging to keep going, and I recorded the next album right after this one, 1 year later, and I kept the same schedule for 3 years, I think, and then I had longer breaks, but I think I didn't necessarily analyze too much. I was just trying to keep going and doing the next things.
And if I was to ask you back then, did you have a goal in mind as to what you hope to accomplish with an album or what you hope to accomplish as a musician?
No. No, and now when I think about it, maybe also because I want to learn much more. Yeah, what could be helpful for us to continue what we do, and I would say having goal is making the process maybe faster and easier because you write the goal, you don't know yet how to get there, but you have it. And for me it was more like, I know what I like to do, I will keep doing it, and we will see where it takes me,
Which I don't think is that unusual. I mean, I asked this of many musicians, and very few people have specific goals in mind or a 5-year plan or anything. It's a hard thing to plan for.
Yes, it's good, but once you know it's good, I think it's good to do it. So I work on that now much more to understand more in the future, like what do I want to actually do? Like why do I want to release the next album? What the album should be about? Like what kind of audience I want to reach? Like having these all questions, but it came much later when I actually met also people who showed me, hey, this is actually good to do,
Interesting. At one point or another, you got into social media and you started taping yourself or posting little snippets of yourself. What did you hope to accomplish with that? What was the goal of that?
Reaching people wherever they are, to let them know I exist, I would say. And until today, I kind of have the same goal with that, being there might be someone who likes what I do, and if I'm not there to like, if I'm not existing there, we will not find each other, So I feel it's actually luxury that I do have the chance to share, like, openly what I do.
At one point, things blow up, and your Tears from Heaven, I believe that was the one that changed things. But I don't know if anything else happened before then.
No.
Okay, so you and then you post it on a regular basis.
So I was before that I was working hard on the quality of things I share online. So if this would be a photo, I really care how the photo looks and like having good description, thinking about posting from time to time, letting people know what I do, and like it was really important for me. It was just the amount of people that was reached was just small, but the way of doing things for me was always the same. It never changed.
And then, but did you have an idea that it could be big, or did it not matter that you were just trying to get you out there? Hopefully, you had a respectful number of people following you, and it just kept on growing slowly at that point.
More this version was more in my head also because I know that most cases it's just consistency and not expecting like how do I find a way to make it shorter way, an easier way. So the fact that the video reached so many people suddenly in 1 week, so many people, it was not something I knew can happen. Also with this kind of music, let's say like I play bass, and like how this could reach so many people.
So when this happens, what do you think? Like, what goes through your mind as you look at this and the numbers are going up?
I first thought that the computer is broken, and I really called my brother because and still when I think about it, I probably will never see something like this, that when you see the video and you see the numbers in my eyes, they were switching like 100,000, 200,000, like 1 million. Then after 5 minutes, I do whatever, and then it's 2 million, 3, and I just see it happening in front of me. So I was really like, I never saw it moving so quickly. I know it moves like, yeah, today I have 100 people saw it, and tomorrow 1,000, and in a week 2,000, whatever. And then this was like extreme for me. So I really thought it's something is broken, but then it wasn't. So I'm happy it wasn't.
When you look back on that video, does it seem special to you? Like, is it? I mean, it's a beautiful piece of music, but can you figure out why people responded so dramatically to that one performance?
Yes, I understand that it's a beautiful way of playing this song, and I really appreciate how Jeff Berlin composed it, like on bass. I think it's not super easy to do it so nicely. So I understand that the chord combination and the way it's played and like how the melody is led, I still really appreciate how he did it, and I felt very happy to be able to play it actually. So that's why I recorded it, because I thought this is very special to play a song like this, having 4 strings and not sing and not anything. You just play the melody. So this is why I think it was appreciated, and I think still people like to go and try to play it. I am less connected to this for sure after years.
So it's not like you have to play it in concert now.
I don't want to play it. Because also I think in my head it's connected to a lot of stress, which was unpleasant for me, and I know there were so many expectations of me playing this as an anchor. Everybody was coming close to the stage, taking their phone out and like filming it, and it could be fun, but somehow it was not super fun for me, and maybe because of the pressure that I created in my head. It's not that people did it, it's like I still couldn't overcome certain struggles with performing. I remember sitting on the stage because I enjoyed to just sit down while playing the song, and I remember the room went quiet, nobody saying a word, I just hear myself breathing and I forgot how to start the song completely. Like I know I have to pull the fattest string E, and then I have zero memory of this song, and I see people look at me, and I look at them, and I say, there's no way I will now be able to do it. Like, everything is just gone. And I said that to the people, and they were supportive. Of course, they clapped, and it's like, yeah, whatever, play whatever else. And we did play a different song. But then I also understood that the brain can have power on me. So I since then tried to really understand what the stage is about, and what do I perform, and how can I cope with the emotions that could actually take everything from you. Even when you have it, it could just disappear, not because you want, but you cannot, because you don't control, it controls you, kind of.
That's a little frightening.
Yeah, scary. Super scary.
So when the numbers, if we go back to the moment where things are blowing up, what is going through your mind? What are you thinking, and what are you concerned with at that point?
Maybe the amount of decisions you have to take suddenly, because we like, my dad was helping me managing, as I mentioned before, and we got many invitations, let's say, and like proposition to work together, and to I think to decide, and to also have someone who could advise, because if you have no people that you can ask about these things, you have to make decisions, and it's scary to do this, especially when your goal is not necessarily like, I just want everything, you want to make correct decisions and be working with the right people, but you don't know these people, so it's scary to make decisions at once for so many things, for label and like agencies, working with people, so also that these decisions are not little decisions. So this was in my head at that time, being like, wow, many decisions to take now.
But was it overwhelming, the amount of opportunities or offers that were made to you because of that video?
Yes, I would say so. And in a good way also, because it gives you a lot of opportunities, and it's great, because otherwise you have no access to people, because they don't know who you are. So only because people saw the video, and that, I don't know, they see that it's successful, and that people want certain product, let's say, now they want to collaborate. Otherwise it's hard to, you have to really fight for them to believe that you could be sellable, let's say.
But it's interesting that, because all of a sudden you're worldwide, and I don't know what area you covered before then, because you had toured all over Poland and other parts of Europe.
No,
but
only Poland.
Oh, okay. So I presume at that point, before putting this on, that you thought it would be nice to tour other countries.
Yes, that's for sure.
Expand, hopefully not globally immediately, but to have the ability to go to other countries and to play for more people. So now, all of a sudden, the video goes crazy, and there are people all over the world seeing you, and maybe opportunity for you to tour anywhere you want. That's insane.
This is crazy, yes. and yes, I think at first it looks kind of easy, let's say.
Yeah.
Being like, wow, now everything will go as planned and like amazing. And I think once you start to play the game, you understand much more suddenly, being like, ooh, this is a great challenge, to make everything work. But it's still something that I'm really, really grateful for, that I could cross the borders and reach people from around the world.
Does it put pressure on you? I mean, obviously it puts pressure on you, but when you wanted to post the next thing, was there pressure on you to post that next thing, and what the reaction would be to that? Because it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to get 10 million more people watching it, right?
Yes, I think that's why there was zero pressure, because I knew it's happening only once. I was like, yeah, it happened now, whatever, kind of. But I remember trying to be cool, or I would say to use the moment also, and not like if you have an opportunity to use it to make it be alive and not be just like, okay, so now it's fine, now I have everything. It's like it pushed me to work hard, I would say.
And then, would it be correct to say that, I mean, would you have gotten offers or people reach out to you that you respected? So not only fans, but other musicians who saw it and said, hey, I would like to work with you, and somebody you possibly wanted to work with.
I think Tears in Heaven cover is not necessarily impressive so much for musicians that I would fancy, let's say, like see as my heroes.
Right.
So I think there is appreciation for the beauty of the transcription. It's nice, but I don't think that anybody would. I have a Polish sentence on that. That to trust that someone knows what to do, you have to see how they actually really perform. So I think for me there was a big challenge also to maintain the opinion that people say I am great, you know. So I think this was and still is sometimes for me something I would want to be relaxed about, that people put titles, Kinga, the Queen of the Bass or something. I really didn't like it, and it was really unhelpful, because it is helpful for other people, like for people to come to the shows, which is really important for me, and without that I cannot live like a musician. But in my brain it seems like I cannot say I'm still learning. It's just, it was fast for me. I was never in school. I'm a self-taught musician, and I try to figure out how to make it work.
Did you ever consider, because your dad went to school for music, did you ever consider going to school for music?
No.
Because you're too busy playing, or?
Because he had, and my mom, very bad experience with teachers. So, and that's why me and my brother didn't go to school, because it destroyed their brains, I would say. So they have nightmares about school and teachers being not treating them as they should, but it's maybe only like their experience. I believe there are people their age maybe were more lucky in terms of having good people around them.
Can we talk about your mom a little bit? Because we've talked about your dad. Your mom was classically trained, I believe?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about her.
She was playing piano, and then after school she kind of stopped, because it was not something enjoyable for her, because it was connected with stress, school stress, let's say.
Right.
So she really is an amazing mom who gave us so much love, and she always was very supportive, and she has so much understanding in music that sometimes it could be painful because she really knows when something is well done, you know, and she wouldn't be too sweet about anything. So I'm so happy that also I could trust her and understand that she loves me, and that she will say if something is nice, and if something is like meh, she will be like meh, it's okay, you know. And she was at home with my brother and me for many years, just taking care of us. So I think it was still special. And when sometimes we traveled as the whole family together for some shows, and she was also involved in the family business, let's say. and yeah, I have really good and strong connection with both my parents, and I feel grateful about that.
Was there ever a doubt that you'd be a musician?
I love sport as well. So I remember deciding if I want to play volleyball or bass because it's really dangerous to combine those two
Yeah, I can
things.
imagine for the fingers.
But still, for fun, I love to play volleyball sometimes. But I think music is maybe bigger love still for me.
I mean, I don't know if you can appreciate, you're still relatively young and you've accomplished so much already. And yet there's so much more to accomplish. When you look at that, I mean, now when you set goals, what goals do you have?
Good question. I would say to be peaceful, really, to be peaceful in the process of what I do. And I think maybe now it's interesting for me because I really am analyzing everything much deeper than I used to. Sometimes it's dangerous because you can over analyze
Yeah.
and overthink it. But I think also being on the stage, I want to find a way to be really just peaceful, that even my body language is peaceful. I sometimes analyze myself being like, I actually want to enjoy the process, and I have a goal of becoming better version of myself, but staying calm in the process and not being afraid to lose something. Because I think sometimes when we are building something, you're so afraid of this to collapse or like not be bigger, let's say, that the fear is actually guiding you, not love of what you do. So I think I would just want to be grateful fully for what I already have. As you say, like it's a lot of things that happen, and I think I would try to avoid being like nice but more. It's like nice, you're nice, but give me more. So I feel like we do have this tendency in life in general, like, yeah, this was great, but let's do something else because this was great, it's over, so let's do another things. So I think for me it's more life changing also, and it's connected to music because music is for me something I spend from I wake up and I go to bed. It's what I do all the time in my head.
5 albums in, and I think you're working on your 6th.
Yeah.
Do you know your sound? Are you like, have you defined who you are as a player and what that sound is?
The if we would say very simple, the sound of bass actually really changed. If you listen to my albums earlier, they're very bright
Right.
and annoying. It's like,
But was it annoying back then, or is it just maturity
no,
or change of taste?
it was amazing that back then I was like, that's a great sound. But I if I could remix it, I would love to do that sometimes, being like, please just let's make the bass a bit softer, like it's like a shouting lady. So it changed the sound for sure. And I believe slowly I try to understand music deeper also. So even going back to the album Feelings I Have, it's the album that was produced by a really amazing producer from Poland, Paweł Tomaszewski. But when I listen to the songs and the ideas I had, I feel like I had so many ideas that are tried to put in one song, but there are no, it's kind of too many topics sometimes in one idea. So I think I see also my brain changing and realizing certain things that I wouldn't. But it's only because also of listening to music and working with people and hearing music differently. So I like to see the change, being like, I like this, but now I would just do it maybe differently.
And how different is the next album?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but I believe it will be very different than what I did, because I like to make the albums different from each other for sure.
And does that worry you when obviously, if you want to change, will your fan base come with you? Or does that even concern you at all?
It depends. Yeah, it depends why they are there. If they are there to like, I believe there are clients for the products at the market, and I think still I try to be authentic fully in what I do. So I don't want to overthink if people would accept the direction, because it could lead me to not being authentic. And then I think it could bring troubles.
Um, you recently went to the States. You played at the Blue Note in New York City. I
Yes.
presume that was an interesting experience. Was this the first time in the States? I was the first time in the States.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience and what it meant to you.
I went there actually not with my project. I went there with Michael Glyk and his project. He had a residency in Blue Note for a whole month. Um, and I was invited as a bass player because he wanted to play guitar. No, it's that he was doing a different project, which was really also great for me to listen to, because I was there for above 2 weeks, so I actually could be a listener also of these different products in Blue Note. But to perform not my music also was great, to not have to lead the show for the first time being in Blue Note and in New York. It was very intense in terms of amount of music that is there and the tempo of life people are living. It's very fast and intense, which I enjoyed, but I got tired at some point. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy! It's so fast and it's so much." But I'm happy I could experience that, and I believe it could really make me grow if I'm there from time to time.
If I'm not mistaken, was Larnell Lewis the drummer on that gig?
Yes, he was, and he was playing bass too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everybody in the band was playing their instrument and also bass. So wonderful.
Wow. He is such an amazing drummer.
He's amazing drummer and amazing person, really.
I presume that you're now at a phase where you could travel to many places, and I presume you're getting those offers. Is there a limit to what you want to do in terms of? Do you have an idea as to how much touring you want to do, and how much you want to see the world playing your music?
The more the better. I would say it's so what the job is. I like to say that what we see in the not real world, I call it, where we follow people and unfollow them and like them and dislike them. I like to say that because one song I composed is actually called Not Real. And I try to also share that many things that we see there is not the full picture of life. So even when someone sees me on my Instagram, like they see the successful, positive part of life, but I like to remind myself and other people also that it's only part of what we do. So I don't share the struggles that are behind what I do, and that sometimes it's not easy to find places that would want to have you there. And I think sometimes things look very obviously being like, oh, she must be great, it must be easy, and she's whatever. But I try to also take it easy in terms of staying calm about everything that is happening, and being consistent, because in my experience it's really slow but good journey. So I would love to perform and do things better and better, and have more, maybe more tours than single concerts, because it's much easier than to do that. But there are many factors that we have to take care of. So I learn how to guide the company and how to do these things, and yeah, ask myself questions as you did, like what is the goal. So it's a great lesson.
Well, as I was young, I would look at musicians touring the world and I'd think, wow, what an amazing thing. But as I get old, I think, and I've traveled a lot more, I realize how difficult travel is. It's just exhausting.
It is.
And I travel and go to the other place and then go lie down. You travel and you have to play a gig and then travel again and play another gig.
Yeah.
And so, as much as one can easily romanticize the idea of touring, I just look at it and think, oh, what a difficult life that is.
It is both difficult and beautiful, and maybe I go back still because I will forget. I actually will go to the States with my band now for the first time in June this year.
I thought I saw something on the internet about that.
So this is extremely exciting because this will be some shows with my band, and for years, really long time, I tried to get there and to perform my music. So it will be very exciting to go there for the first time. Yeah, and in
is
terms
that
of,
important in terms of cracking the North American market?
I would love to meet the people that always comment, please come here. I think for me it's really important to just see the people in real life and be with them, and I think I feel very lucky, and it's very special for me to know that someone is waiting there, and I was like, for years I see that some people are not giving up, being like, but when do you come to the States? It's like, wow, you're so patient, like, thank you so much for still being there. And I really find it as a big gift that people are not leaving yet.
Well, it's interesting because I think when you were asked about something you learned from your dad, and I believe he told you to give you 100% no matter how many people are in the audience. So that's one thing, and I always marvel at the musicians who can play in front of a handful of people and give it their all and put on the most amazing show. But from that to also get to a point where people are waiting for you, who've never seen you, who actually say, I want to see you. That's must be an amazing feeling.
Yes, it's really special feeling. I think for me sometimes also scary. Like, I'm great, but I don't know if I'm so great. Like I'm like myself. I will do my best, but like I still have to practice. So I hope you will enjoy, and I hope to not make them disappointed. And whenever they are not after the show, I'm like, yes, because some people come, I don't know, like they say like, oh, we flew to this country to see you. I was like, wow, I hope it was worth it. Like you spent so much time and money to fly here to see the show. It's like, no, it was worth it. So whenever they say that this was worth it, I'm like, wow, I really want to work as hard as I can to enjoy it and to have people around me that are happy about it.
Do you have details on this tour? How many places you're playing and
yes, I think we go for sure to... We still work on some dates, so I don't know if I should announce, but let's announce and let's see how true it was. We probably go to Los Angeles on the 12th and 13th, then 15th we go to Minneapolis, then we go to Baltimore on the 17th. On the 19th we have Elkhart Jazz Festival in Indiana, and then 21st I think we go to New York to Iridium Club.
Wow.
And
you did that all without looking at your phone. That's impressive.
Yeah. Because last weeks I spent so much time on this, making decisions about these places. This date, that date, maybe this, maybe not, maybe here. So when you repeat it, then I remember.
Are there other places that you really want to get to?
Yes, Canada. I
Yes.
would love to come. I think because you were saying about traveling, I really, really appreciate the beauty of nature. So whenever I can travel, we went to Brazil to see Brazil, even in a small part. I feel this part of job, even when it's extremely tiring sometimes, and really we don't sleep a lot, and sometimes we have no time to see places. We fly there for so long, we just play a concert and we go, so there was no time to see. But still, when there is an opportunity to see something, I'm like, wow, this is so special.
It is special. I mean, obviously, I think you're being rewarded for what you do and the
Yeah.
joy that you bring to other people. But it's special that you can just play your music and travel the world
Yeah.
and have people come and see you.
Yes, that's really beautiful.
My final question to you, and thank you so much for doing this. It's such a thrill to meet you.
Thank you.
What does music mean to you? What is music to you?
I would say it's a very big part of me and my life. And sometimes I try to see Kinga not always like Kinga that plays bass, you know? So I still work on that because in my head this is existing only together. So it would be scary for me to say like there is no music or I don't play and I'm still valuable, let's say, in as a human being. So I feel music really brought so much depth in my life, and I really grew up as a human being also because this is part of my life, and yeah, this is what I would say.
Kinga, thank you so much for doing this. It's a real honor to meet you.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Marco, so much. It was really a pleasure to talk to you.